Alright guys, you're welcome back to another week of or another day of our weekly market analysis, where we'll come on the charts in the crypto market chart like Bitcoin, Ethereum and some other crypto assets, and look at what's happening in the market, analyze the market, and also look out for potential trading opportunities in the market for the week. So you're welcome back to this amazing program, this amazing channel, and this channel is currently at 5,700. I would appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel so that you get us to 6K in the next 30 days. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also I would appreciate also if you can just hit the like button on this video so that YouTube promote this video and let it get to a lot of people so that they can benefit from it. So consider hitting the like button before we get into the content. Make sure you hit the like button. Have you done that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's go. So this week we'll be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and 2 or 3 other crypto assets that we can trade. And I'll be starting from Bitcoin. And this week is going to be different because I have some very important things to talk about when it's come to Bitcoin and some of these cryptocurrencies. So you know, if you've been following my analysis since the beginning of the year, when I started analyzing the crypto market, you would see that I always like to analyze using the top-down analysis, starting from the higher time frame, looking at the direction of the market and looking at for potential trading moves and screening the lower time frame to pick trades. That is how I do. And I always start from monthly, in most cases, sometimes from the daily, depending on what the market is currently saying, or the signal the market is currently giving. But now I have something very important to talk about Bitcoin, because one thing I do is that sometimes I look at the bigger picture before I look at potential trading opportunities. And you know, last week, if you watched the last week episode, I talked about Bitcoin dropping. Yeah, last week I said I'm still expecting Bitcoin to drop, but I gave a long trade, which is a buy trade last week. And when I gave the trade on Sunday, on Tuesday, Bitcoin bought and we were at 30K or 29K, something around that last week. And if you took the trade last week, let me know in the comment section. Comment in the comment section telling me how much you made from the trade last week. So I called a long trade last week, but I said that Bitcoin might still drop later. And that is about the big picture, looking at the long-term basis, not the short-term basis. You know, when we look at our weekly analysis, what we analyze is the weekly trades, like give you signals about what you can do during the week. But then I try to look at the long-term basis, because even if you are trading during the week, you still have to know what might likely happen later in the future, so that it is not going to affect your weekly trade, just in case that thing starts happening. So if you look at Bitcoin, since January was a little bit bullish, even though the candle is red, but it's a little bit bullish because it closed a little bit above where it opened. You get? So February was bullish, January was bullish rather. February was 50-50, March was bullish, super bullish, April was a little bit bullish too, and May was a bearish month. Now, if you look at this market, you would see that this in April, you see that last week, Bitcoin touched this resistance, which is a strong resistance on a higher time frame, on this monthly time frame. And Bitcoin had already come to this area of resistance too in April, which means in April, Bitcoin gave us 30K, 500 and something. And just last week, Bitcoin gave us 31K something, telling you this place is an area of resistance where Bitcoin was previously rejected in April 2 months ago. So now Bitcoin has come to this area of resistance and it is slightly getting rejected. But then you can't say it is rejected already, because we need some time to confirm that. So now the position is that if Bitcoin gets rejected from this area, if Bitcoin fails to break this resistance, that is telling you that the market is likely going to collapse. I'm not talking about the trade you are going to take for the week yet. I'm just talking about the general perspective on the higher time frame, or what's likely going to happen in the next 1 to 3 months. Also, if Bitcoin breaks out of this resistance and stays above it with a very strong bullish candle, then Bitcoin might continue the bullish movement up till somewhere around this zone. So let's say I'm going to find the zone on the weekly. Somewhere around 42k would be our overall target for Bitcoin, just in case Bitcoin breaks this zone and continues a bullish movement. But if it's break out and come back, that means that's not a clear breakout, that's a fake out. So that is my bias for Bitcoin on a long-term basis. That is a long-term project actually. So now let's look at what we'll be having for the week. So looking at this weekly candle that closed yesterday, looking at this week candle, it's telling us that Bitcoin has been strong, though the market moved up, collapsed, and for last week, it was strong. So now, my bias on Bitcoin is two things. The first is, if Bitcoin breaks out of this resistance, sorry, I'm trying to pick these two. If Bitcoin breaks out of this resistance, retest, then I'll be taking a long trade. That is my first bias for Bitcoin for the week. And if Bitcoin does not, then I'll be looking for a short. So those are the two things I want to be looking for this week. But then, when we scale to the lower time frame, we would see that there is a little bit of rejection around this area of value. Yes, somewhere around here, we are seeing rejection, signifying that Bitcoin might come down a little bit. Even if it's going to break this, maybe later, looking at the rejection. But you can't decide yet, because whenever you are trading, you need enough confirmation before you enter a trade, before you do anything. So for this week, I'll be waiting for either Bitcoin breaking out of this area of value, this resistance, retest, and along. But if I would long, I'm not going to be taking my trade on the higher time frame. I'll be taking my trade on the 1 hour time frame in most cases, and sometimes on the 4 hour. So let's say there is a breakout. You know how I used to trade. So let's say there is a breakout of Bitcoin around this place. Then I'll be taking a long around there, and I'll be targeting. Let's look for our targets. First target, second target, and others. So let me scale to the daily. Okay. So if that happens and I'm taking a trade here, my immediate target would be here, because is a trade we are taking in the week. Then here, this place is going to be the second target for the week. Yeah, and my final target would be somewhere around here for the week. That is if we have a bullish breakout and a retest. That's what I'll be doing for the week. So you can just look at the price levels at these areas I have marked out. And that is when if we have bullish confirmation. Remember that movement from this place to this place is going to take a long time. So don't think that within a week this is going to happen. No, it hardly works like that unless we have a bull market. So in a bull market, this one can make a crazy movement in just a week. But when we are seeing a bear market, then you don't expect something like that. You can expect something like a movement from 31k or 30k to 32, 33, 34. That's still pretty much reasonable. So, but even though that doesn't deny the fact that is not conflicting with the fact that anything can happen in the market. So for my longs, that would be my scenario for long. But then for short, if Bitcoin fails to break that area of value, I will be taking short trades. And one of my scenarios would be if the market comes back to this area of value and give me a bearish confirmation, then I'll be taking a short in the market I'm shorting the market. And if I'm shorting the market, let's look at where my targets would be. Because when you take trades, when you are in a trade rather, you don't expect the market to move. Sorry, I need to get rid of that. You don't expect the market to move once. You expect the market to move from one support to another support, from one resistance to another resistance, depending on what you call it. So if I'll be taking a trade here, if the market comes back to this zone and give me a bearish sign, my first level target would be around here. My first target would be around here for short. Second target would be somewhere around here. You get it? And the last target for the week would be around this area of value. So don't expect that the market is just going to do magic. Even sometimes, if this is your target, set the target and let the market do its things, and set your take profit and stop loss rather. Set your stop loss. So that's going to be my scenario for long and short for the week. I don't like when the chart is like, it has a lot of drawings like this, but then for trading, for teaching purpose, you just have to like bear with me for that. So it's either I'm going long when there is a breakout and retest of this strong resistance at 31.5 zone, or the market comes back to this zone and I find a sell. That is what I'll be doing on Bitcoin for the week. Let's look at Ethereum. Whenever I trade Bitcoin, the next thing I always analyze is Ethereum. I like to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum both on my accounts. You can see some of my trade on Ethereum. So I took this short. Most of these trades I post on my YouTube. I took this short. Then I took a long here last week on Ethereum. And what happened? It was activated and we made a massive amount of money. So if you took this trade too, let me know in the comment section, please. Let me know how much you made in the comment section. So I was watching Ethereum at this area, and I was watching for a scenario where Ethereum is going to reject. It has rejected already, and the market is already moving downward. This is a triple top. It's a triple top pattern, and the market is already moving downward. So what I'll be looking for on Ethereum, let's go to the higher time frame. Let's look at Ethereum on the higher time frame. Ethereum is also at a resistance, like you can see, a very strong resistance. So what I'll be looking for on Ethereum also is a breakout and a long. And if there is no breakout, I might be looking for a scenario where Ethereum, let me skip to the lower time frame. Ethereum is going to come back to this area of value and give me a short. Come back to this area of value and give me a short if I want to short, because the market is already moving. It doesn't make sense to join this kind of market at this moment unless there is another area of value where you can join. Maybe somewhere around here where there have been reactions in the past. You can look for another trade around here. But at this place, it doesn't make sense joining a sell at this place. So for some people who do scalp trading, they can maybe buy to sell. Yeah, it is something you can do. But then on Ethereum, what I've been doing on Ethereum is just very similar to what I had on BTC. So let's look at Mana. So Mana is, I think, looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, both Bitcoin and Ethereum are the ones giving me a guidance on what I will be doing on most of these altcoins. They are giving me guidance on what I will be doing on most of these altcoins. So for Mana too, I'll be in a short. But what I can do on Mana, one of the scenarios I can look at on Mana is that if there is a break to the downside of that area, maybe something like this. So a break like this, I'll be shorting. But if not, then I might be looking for a long around this place. So that's my scenario for trading mana for the week. All those coins, I really don't trade them a lot, except a few, maybe XTG and ING, and most of them are scalp trading. But for the week, for trade that I put a reasonable money, or I risk a reasonable amount, they are Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that is why I focus much more on analyzing Bitcoin, and in most cases, Bitcoin gives direction for whatever I do on others. So if you are getting value from this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. It goes a long way. It's going to motivate me and give me enough vibe or enough conviction that you guys are getting value from what I'll be sharing. It doesn't make sense when someone is giving enough energy to teach and you don't know whether people are really getting what you are teaching or not, or whether people are really enjoying what you are teaching or not. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and also put the comment section. Put the comment down in the comment section telling me if you enjoy my weekly analysis, if you get value from them, and if you trade all the things I usually talk about in the weekly analysis. So I'll be joining the curtain for this week for today. And if I have something else, maybe an additional analysis I would like to do during the week, I might just post that. So make sure you subscribe and also turn on the notification button so that you get my content, you get notified whenever I post my content. So I'll be seeing you in the next week.